Siddiqui Konde, who's going to perform afterwards. He's an artist from Guinea, Africa. That I work at City Lore. He's been a part of the work at City Lore and the Center for Traditional Music and Dance for many years. But Siddiqui and actually Bobby also have been lately working with the veterans at the giving lessons, drum lessons to veterans at the big VA hospital on Kingsbridge Road. And so we've been having a partnership with them lately. Siddiqui has been actually doing a lot with vets, for the past few years, and he's been doing some classes here, but also now going back to the VA hospital and giving classes there. So we're like, since we had this working relationship with Siddiqui and the folks at the VA, we're hoping to use this as if they want to do more outreach for their vets. But it's hard to get the vets to come out a lot, but hopefully we are going there all the time. Bobby is there weekly, Siddiqui's there weekly. So having Siddiqui here, because he's going to be starting the classes at the VA hospital this month, we thought, it's Black History Month. We'll do something for Black History. But Black History Month is specifically also about the African-American experience here. So while Siddiqui represents the roots from Africa, we wanted to have a platform for some of the arts that are actually from here in the United States that are part of the experience right here as well. So I'm really glad to have some poets on board here because, we're going to have music and dance, and as Bobby said, we're also going to have the word represented here today as well. And I want to give a shout out to a couple people. Bob Holman is a great poet from the Lower East Side, and he's not here, but he helped me get connect to Urban Word today. And I do want to give a big thank you to Janine Simon, who helped bring the connection for getting the poets here today as well. So everyone, give her a big round of applause. She's here. So to start off with, we are going to start off with some poetry. And our first poet is Fanta Balo from Harlem. Fanta has, you can read her bio in here, but I do want to say she has performed poetry at many different events, from local events and rallies and poetry events here in the city, all the way to the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. She's collaborated with a wide variety of artists, and she was awarded a grant from the first ever Wonder Grant from the Shawn Mendes Foundation, and used that to fund her new book, which here in her bio says it's forthcoming, but actually it's here. So if anyone, before they leave today, want to support Fanta Balo and her new work, you can buy a copy of her new poetry book right here before you leave. So please support the artist when you can. And I want to welcome to the stage, and also she's going to give us a little background about Urban Word. The two poets tonight are from Urban Word and can tell us a little bit about that. So please welcome to the stage Fanta Balo.
Hey, hello. Okay, so I already got my intro, so I'm not going to give my intro again. But I am fortunate to be a part of the Urban Word community, and for Urban Word is just a space for young kids to come and explore the arts, and in this sense, it's spoken word poetry, right? So what we do is we have workshops, we go into schools, and basically we teach. Well, we don't teach kids because kids already know how to write, but we give them that space to feel comfortable to explore poetry. We have a poetry slam team, which I was a part of in 2020. And what we do there is we go and we compete against different youth groups around the United States. Unfortunately, my year was virtual because of COVID, but since then, I've been a part of the slam team. I've also been a mentor teaching in schools, and I got to perform at the UBS Arena just the other day at the St. John's versus UConn game. So Urban Word is just a place for any poets. If you know any young poets who are interested in poetry, refer them to Urban Word, and they could take their career from just writing to beyond. Okay, so this first poem I'm going to read, I haven't performed it in a while. It is an identity poem, and it's a name poem, right? So I'm just going to get right into it because it tells you all you need to know about me, right? So my name is Fanta Balo. I am a West African born on American soil. And here's some fun facts. First, it's my name that people always love to claim is named after the soda. And as I'm getting older, my patience is getting thin. I was not named after a soda, and Fanta is not my name. My name is Fanta, not short for Fantasia, so that line is really getting played. My name was rooted directly from West Africa, and it means beautiful day. And Africa has up to 2,000 different languages, and none of them sound the same. So it's about time y'all stop telling me to speak African, just like y'all recognize that every Latina don't speak Latin. Y'all got friends who are rappers, but they do everything but rapping. Like, come on. It's crazy we became beauty standards. We've been the same all along. And it took a couple of IG praises to get all the haters all aboard, because not for nothing, I remember when being called African was supposed to be an insult. Had us second guessing if we should even jack our kinfolk. Them lunchroom jokes used to disregard everything our parents been through, and now it's a whole collective of people trying to capitalize off of what we went through. It's crazy. Went from ill Africans to Wakanda forever. The hypocrisy really amazes me. But forget all that, because I'm straight from the West Coast. Ivory Coast and Mali, I like my cheque with a side of loco. And I stay out them conversations where y'all start talking about the best jollof rice, because I'm going to say the wrong country and ruin the whole night. Today, we celebrate each other. The ones with immigrant parents, we do it for one another, because they wanted us to disregard our African heritage to become more American. But the catch is that some of us are African-American. Wonder why Africa came first, but they made us put it last. Wonder why we had to assimilate into one's culture and completely forget our own. Wonder why the only place we felt comfortable speaking our native tongue was in our home. It's crazy how this melting pot of a nation never actually melts, just forcing people to abandon their culture, forcing people to lose themselves for years. I lost a part of myself, but that is no longer the case. Because I can never run from my African identity. I am blessed with my African's father face. I'm on this stage right now speaking my truth, going hard for the whole continent, because that's what Africans do. And we all made it here, so I guess we can agree that we're doing all right. So shout out to Bronx Music Heritage Center, and thank you for having me here tonight. Okay, so next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna like ping pong back and forth, right? So I have the honor of doing the intro for the next fool who's gonna come up, right? And I heard a little bit of her stuff over there, so I just know it's fire. I just know it's fire, right? So just a little bit about Miriam, right? She's 16, almost 17, right? Oh, she already 17. See, we gotta update our bios, all right? But she is a choreographer from Bronx, New York. She's currently a senior, or did you graduate? She's currently a senior at Repertory Company High School for Theater Arts. And she's a coach and a choreographer for the high school team, school's hip-hop team, and she's the president of BSU, which is the Black Student Union, right? So she's been most known for participating in school musicals, performing original choreography at assemblies, and as well as sharing her poetry with the world, right? Writing has always helped Miriam express herself, and recently she found that poetry can help her not only tell her story, but stories of other people who look like her. So Miriam hopes to touch as many people as she can with her words. She hopes to touch all of y'all today. So please give a round of applause for Miriam.
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Ooh. Hey, y'all. So this poem I'm going to read for y'all is called I'm Not Black. I walked into class the other day, and there was this new kid. Tall, brown eyes, thick hair, dark skin. I walk over, introduce myself, ask to know a little bit about him. He tells me his name is Manuel and that he's not black, he's Dominican. I blink twice and rub my eyes as if I'll get a better view, as if his skin will reflect his words and he'll turn red, white, and blue to match the flag of his identity. The flag that he believes separates him from me. He seems to notice my look of disbelief. He begins speaking Spanish, rolling his R's, emphasizing his accent, trying to convince me to look past the color of his skin, to not burden him with the struggles of people that look like him. Why have you made us believe that our existence is a sin? One that cannot be repented for, one that you refuse to forgive, the sin that helped you justify the painful journeys across the Middle Passage. Our blood stains the walls of rooms you refuse to allow us in, replaced chains with handcuffs, plantations with prisons, tricked us into believing our lives were given back. But I can't move with this noose still wrapped around my neck, the noose that kept us from a culture we were meant to be born in, the noose that seems to get tighter whenever you feel threatened. There are children attending funerals more often than school trips. There are children trying on bulletproof vests because they fear for their lives in the neighborhoods you have trapped them in, convinced that their brown skin is a weapon, that it is holding them back, that their path to success consists of track, basketball, or a mic. I write for the kids being told they have no options. My voice amplifies the strength that already lives within them. The voice that screams, you are not a statistic. The voice that screams, you can be Black and Dominican. The voice that refuses to let us forget who we are. It reminds us that our existence is a gift to this world, that it cannot be erased or manipulated to fit in molds. It cannot be ignored or hidden by hate. So when I walked into class the next day, I looked for Manuel. I walk over to him, remind him of my name, and tell him that I'm not Black. I'm Black as hell. Thank y'all.
Yeah, man. Mike is hot. All right, so I'm back. This time I'm going to read a poem out of my book, and it's titled Explaining Spoken Word Poetry to My Dad, right? It's a little background on this. My dad, he was born and raised in Ivory Coast, so English is not his first language. So when I first was telling him, like, I do poetry, he's like, what is poetry? And I didn't have the language to translate it into our language, so I never knew how to actually tell him, like, what poetry was. So I was trying to break it down to him. So that's what this is, right? It's like rap. No, actually, it's like a speech. It's people talking, rhyming, and flowing. It's a performance. When instead of claps, we snap. We replace dancing with listening. We grasp on each line that rolls off the poet's tongue, envision ourselves in such beauty, papa. Because of poetry, I have learned to give a part of me every single time I step on stage. I hang on to minuscule details happening in my life and create a punchline. I create metaphors for my pain and similes out of my grief. My journal has become my best friend, and every major event has become a performance. So when I tell you about my poems and you listen, even though I know you don't understand, I appreciate your effort. I have yet to find the right language that creates the bridge separating you and me. I want you to see how beautiful poetry is, but you can't see it yet. I want you to feel my pain and understand why I write, but as a path I haven't crossed yet. Thank you.
Sorry, y'all. Okay, this next poem is called Say My Name, Words from an Angry Black Girl. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Miriam Dembele, the name gifted to me by my West African parents who were fooled by the American dream, told that their labors would be worth it, that their children would be free. Now I'm sitting in a class where my white teacher asks how to say my name again. I'm not good with names. They can be so hard to get right. As she goes on to call the other names perfectly, without breaking a sweat, getting it right each time, I feel myself get angrier as I sit there wondering why she couldn't say mine. I don't like giving my name at restaurants. I don't like having to spell it over the phone. I don't like the dance teacher I've had for years who still insists on pronouncing my name wrong. See, I didn't choose this name. Trust me, if I had a choice, I would have refrained from picking anything too revealing. Anything that might give my future employers the feeling that I'm too lazy to do this job, that they should give it to the girl whose full name they can actually pronounce, who's fully American without a shadow of doubt. Maybe I would have picked a name with less syllables, something to make my blackness less visible. I find it difficult to be told to calm down, to be told to be happy the second my smile turns into a frown. I'm angry as hell. Allow me to introduce myself. I am an angry black girl. No, I am the angry black girl, just like the ones society has convinced you exists, just like the ones that show up in TV shows as the comedic sidekick, the ones you call ghetto, the ones you pretend to be afraid of, the inspiration behind your very existence. I see us in every braid, every acrylic, every brown lipstick. I hear us in every statement you make to your half-black friends. Woo, child, period, hunty, you ate that, sis. Woo, child, I wish I could shoot the motherfucker who let y'all find out AAVE exists. I'm not your sis. We are not kin. We do not relate. Every part of your identity is fake, stolen from the very women you claim to hate. Y'all still on trends we left in 2008, which is how we know we are the blueprint. You study our existence, write it down, practice in the mirror, use our culture for content, and sell it to the highest bidder. I'm angry as hell, and I dare you to tell me to calm down. I claim every ounce of my rage. I control every bit of my strength. And for the chance to be unapologetically free, I will always bring out the angry black girl in me. Thank y'all.
Okay, I got one more one for y'all. Right? And the topic of hair and black girls is always like a sensitive topic, right? Because growing up, parents tie your self-worth and your identity and everything to your hair, right? Your hair gotta look nice. Your hair can't look like that. You look like nobody love you, like it, right? So you kind of have to get your hair right. And for me, I had a long journey with my hair, and I'm gonna just tell you a little bit about that, right? Because as a black girl, I was taught to never get my hair too wet and feared that the H2O would sweat out my also perfect perm. And the chemicals used to hold my hair down would disappear, and the roots of my ancestors would appear, allowing my hair to defy gravity again. I was told that just wasn't acceptable. My scalp became too familiar with hot combs that my mom would heat up on our stovetop. That same stovetop used to feed this family of 5. My hair was taught that heat damage was acceptable if it kept itself down, made my appearance more digestible, a little more presentable. My mom always wanted me to be the one with the nice hair, you know. Never nappy. The endless fight with my follicles had me getting my hair relaxed every 6 months. The irony is my hair never relaxed because mama got tired of breaking combs because no one ever taught her how to treat 4C hair tenderly. Which the world taught African mothers how to care for their daughters' hair before it became too much to bear, before it took a toll on our self-worth, before it took over our identity. Which we didn't have to fight the world to fight for us, do right by us, have employees looking at us sideways because our hair isn't nice enough. This poem for the black girl who was like me. Second year in college, scissors in one hand and my humility in the other. Recognizing that the dead ends that I hung on to for lengthy purposes was just dead weight I refused to cut ties with. There was comfort in knowing that even though it wasn't growing, it was still there. But sometimes you must take that step back for real growth to appear. I learned that to love my hair meant to love myself. Meant for my mom to love me, for the world to love me, for the world to love black women first, our hair second. Meant for black men to choose my sisters, to create black babies whose hair will be livelier than ours because we have the tools now. Our parents missed the opportunity, but we know what to do now. Because for 3 years, I put off locking my hair thinking it would affect my employment opportunities. As if my blackness wasn't already loud enough until I realized that if I keep changing to fit the puzzles around me, I'll never fit into my own. And no matter how much you water a dead plant, it will never grow. So when the damage has been done, you must let it go. Because when it all straightens out and the split ends, you'll appreciate the new growth. Thank you.
Hey, everyone, give a big round of applause to Fanta and Miriam. And thank you to Urban Word. If anyone has any, if anyone here, I know there's a few folks who work with youth, or if anyone has any, before they leave, make sure you talk to any of the folks here from Urban Word, including Janine, to learn a little bit about more of what they do. And Bobby, you want to say a few announcements before?
If anyone is interested, tomorrow, Asal Ya Asal will be demonstrating classical belly dance here with Angie Asal featuring Amir Armali, Gideon Forbes, Sarah Muller, Safer Tawil, and Marwa Morgan right here at the place to be, the BMHC. That's at 3:30 p.m. Yes, indeed. $20 in advance, $25 at the door. You can get one of these flyers over there and scan the ticket. And from what I've been told, I bet it's going to be filled here tomorrow. So might want to check that out, all right? And any other upcoming things that we need to announce? Oh, yes. If you want to, you can look back there. There's a schematic drawing painting of the forthcoming Bronx Music Hall, which is on 164th Street and Melrose Avenue 163rd in Washington, which is right near Melrose Avenue, which is 10 blocks away from where I grew up on East 153rd Street in the Melrose Projects in the South Bronx. Now, we'll be moving there soon. Everything we do here will be done there. That's a beautiful, inside you'll walk into a beautiful 250-seat indoor theater. We already have an outdoor stage that we've been doing in the summer, outdoor concerts. There's an amphitheater as well in the back outdoors where we've been doing things like this, poetry. that holds about 100 people. The outdoor stage holds about 200 people. So there's a lot of exciting things coming up. We'll be leaving the space eventually. So everything that we do here will be done there times to the 10th power, as somebody like Albert Einstein would say. It's so good that you're here this evening. I love the spoken word tradition. We have an incredible history of it in the Caribbean, especially in Puerto Rico, with the decima form, and in Cuba, with the, forms that are in Eastern Cuba as well. So it's good to have you all here tonight. And that is all influenced, again, by the fusion of Africa and southern Spain. A lot of people talk about Spain, like sometimes in our communities, oh, I'm Spanish, I'm from Spain. My great-great-grandparents are from Spain. And I go, yeah, in case you didn't know, Spain was ruled by the Muslim Empire for almost 800 years. That means Spain was an extension of Africa for over 800 years. In our language, our food, the way, when you hear in flamenco music, the miasma and everything that we inherited from North Africa and from India as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there because it's Black History Month. So, so sometimes when people tell me these things, because in our communities, because of colonialism, we have these weird fantasies or misconceptions about things. And when people tell me that my ancestors are from Spain, I go, oh, so they're African there. And then all of a sudden, what? And then when I give them the 411, they start going, damn, So anyway, it's always good to, be truthful, because the truth will set you free. But first, it will piss you off,
So I want to introduce now the ensemble you're going to hear, led by Sidiki Konde. Sidiki Konde is from Guinea, Africa, West Africa, and now he's here in New York City with us. I'm from the Lower East Side, and Sidiki, when he started becoming a performer, he just has an incredible history. He's performed with very prestigious dance and music groups in Guinea. He created the musical arrangements, was a choreographer for them. He worked with an array of musicians in Africa. From all over West Africa. And he also, as you'll see in his bio, a lot is in his bio, he taught workshops called the Very Special Arts to instruct young people who also had challenges and disabilities in their life. In 1998, he formed the Tokono All Abilities Dance and Music Ensemble and teaches children in the public schools. And in 2007, Sidiki also became a National Heritage Fellow to the NEA. And for those of you who don't know, the National Endowment of the Arts, the NEA, which a lot of you might know through funding, a lot of us get our funds, for programs through them, but they have the National Heritage Awards. And the National Heritage Award is the highest award in this country that someone in the folk arts can get. And Sidiki became one of those fellows. He's known for carrying the traditions of his culture to the highest degree, and he's become a fellow since 2007. So with that, we are going to present Sidiki and his ensemble tonight, playing an array of music from Guinea.
Aliyesila bila hongo waliye nala.
Wemadi alila.
Aliyesila bila jembe falaliye nala. Woloma dogberelo.
Ye wuli nala.
Woloma dogberelo.
Ayesila bila ye jimbe falaye nala. Wemadi alila.
Aliyesila bila ye kuriye nala.
Wemadi alila.
Aliyesila bila jembe falaliye nala. Woloma dogbereke.
Ye wuli nala. Ayesila bila ye jimbe falaye nala. Wemadi alila.
Aliyesila bila yo abulaye nala.
Wemadi alila.
Aliyesila bila yo jabateke ye nala. Woloma dogbereke.
Ye wuli nala.
Woloma dogberelo.
Ayesila bila ye jimbe falaye nala. Wemadi alila.
Aluna kande so diala. Aluna kande jembe for aluna kande so diala.
Aina kale sodiala. Ana kale jimbe falana kale sodiala.
Aluna kande na toma aluna kambara so diambolo. Aluna kan na follow aluna kande so diala.
Aina kale sodiala. Ana kale foli kale na sando sodiala.
Aka wode de doluma, aka sanike duluye dolu bulukolo. Ka wode de doluma, aka sanike doluma dolu bulukolo. Aluna kande na toma aluna kambara so dia. Aluna kan na follow aluna kande so diala.
Ana kale sodiala. Ana kale foli kale na sando sodiala.
That sounds called Kasa by West African. Back home Guinea, every 3 years, we put two generations each other. But in the Bon Malinke, we call generation Kasa. We'll be together to go work on Abla's father's forum. And we'll be together, come build the Michael's father's house. You know, every time we have to do some work, we must call each other. From 7 villages, put everybody together. So this is the sound. We come in sound, make it great. We come in sound, make it happiness, and make everybody happy in the town. We all here. That's the sound we're singing. And the second sound's called Dunia. Dunia is my own first composition and the music. Because beginning, I was a dancer with my two hands. In the ballet, we are 45 people. So I'm so short. In the ground, everybody's so long, big one. It's very hard to find me. So I'll find a voice to sing to everybody can see me and aware. And the song's called Dunia. Dunia Aja Jaka Dunia it in the way. Dunia is me this world. It's a God creation, natural, but lot of see different. If any human being, some are blind, some is not blind, some are deaf, some is not deaf, some have a hand, some didn't have a hand. But that's not mean you handicap. The handicap come from your dream and what you want to be. But every day, every minute, God knows what you are. And you have to know what you are because nobody represents you first without you. Why not smiling? So thank you so much to listen to this song. That was my first song, 1985. So thank you so much to listen to this song. Call Soli. Aja, ja, dununya ya tende wai. Dunia, aja, ya dununya ya tende wai. Dununya, aja, yo dununya ya tende wai ga mama. Dunia, aja, ja dununya ya tende wai. Yala dununya ya tende wai ga. Ejaka dununya yetende wela. Yala dununya betende wela. Yala dununya betende wega. Doli ye ngonya fu yende dununya mafa. Dununya ma. Doli ye ngoda te komani fola. Dununya ma. Doli ye ngotala gbadende dununya mafa. Dununya ma. Doli ye ngosenti ta makela. Edununya aja. Ejaka dununya yetende wega mama. Dunia aja, ya dunia netene wai. Thank you. Thank you. You know, West Africa, music is a parable of life. Music can healing, and it can relax you, and it give you every day new life. Because if you breathe with music, you believe yourself. You follow your breathing, you find that God is well. In this world, first beginning, start the sound. And the sound stay with the music. A big band. That's all come from. And that was the first music. And it stayed the heart, inside the heart. Every time. Every time. So if you feel that, you'll be healthy more than more. Thank God to show me when you're sick, how are you going to be? Thank God to show me, what do you worry? How are you going to be? Thank God to show me, when you're scared, what are you going to be? Thank God to show me everything is behind the smiling and happiness. And be sure yourself, trust God. Thank you. So tonight we didn't have a long time. I'm going to give you the last song called So So Sisa. Coming, we play together. Coming, we enjoy together. Coming, we sing it together. Oh, Laila, oh, God is good every time. God is good. Thank you. All right? So now we all sing this song together. So So Sisa. So, so, sisa. Ola, yila, yila, so, sisa. Ola, yila, yila, so, sisa. Ola, yila, yila, la, yila, yila, la, yila, yila, so, sisa. So, okay, now we play with the music. Are you ready? So c'est ça.
So si sa.
So c'est ça.
So si sa.
Oh la yela, so c'est ça.
Ola so si sa.
Oh la yela, so c'est ça.
Ola so si sa.
Oh la yela, so c'est ça.
Ola so si sa.
La so c'est ça.
La so si sa.
Azou, aza, azou, aza, azou, zouzou,
Azazaza.
azou, zouzou,
Azazaza.
azou,
Aza.
so c'est ça. So c'est ça. Oh la yela, so c'est ça. Oh la yela, so c'est ça. Oh la yela, so c'est ça. Okay, now we can dance. Come and join with us. Come on. Everybody can dance. Ah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, would you like an encore? I'm going to ask, would anybody like to recite poetry to the sound of drums? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Come on,
Come on.
you're from the motherland. Come on. Everybody. Pero que apoye, capulle, capulla, apoye, capulle, capulla, apoye, capulle, capulla, apoye, capulle, capulla, apoye.
One day, I'll be able to sing my praise so loud that they'll always remember my name and never forget my face. I'll leave an imprint. My journey to this moment has been long, but I've enjoyed the distance. I've loved and lost people every time. I grieve different. Born a black body in a white world, so I'm not ignorant to the fact that I'm perceived different one day. I'll love my gentle heart. I'll accept that I live with my heart on my sleeve, and no matter how much I try, I care. I leave every situation a little less full because I give. I give sometimes more than I can afford, but I do it because that's all I ever wanted one day. I love the crooked smile my mom never had braces money to fix. I love the way I awkwardly laugh when I'm nervous or didn't hear you speak but too anxious to ask you to repeat. I smile. And for a while, that's what got me through, masking my pain. With metaphors, I fell in love with the pen. Found a home in my journal, and that's how this journey began one day. I find the courage to put the pen down and actually say everything I wanted to say but never got to. Let this book be my anchor and stepping stone of faith. Someday, I'll love Fontaballo and everything she's got to say. Shout out Siddiqui Condé.
Okay, I'm going to sing a song in Arara, which is, I learned when I was a kid from the great Cuban master Puntilla. Softly. Iso tada tada so boyati bola masokoma agayuso bolero lero. Iso tada tada so boyati bola masokoma agayuso bolero lero. Oh ile na sopo sogo ibetanguna. Oh ile na sopo sobo igetanguna agakara wini aguakara yenobe. Aguacara do wini wedo ile na sopo are mawa are papa ala we mi so bailere awange mi so bailere awange mi so bailere ala we mi so bailere awange mi so bailere are mawa are papa ala we mi so bailere ala we mi so bailere ala mi so bailere. Ala mi so bailere. Good night, everybody. How about it for Siddiqui? How about it for Elena Martinez? Lynn over there. Who else do we got to thank? Who? Say it out loud, Elena. Over right over there in the back. Yes, indeed. You want to say some closing things, Elena?
No, everyone, a big round of applause once again for Fanta and Miriam and their incredible poems. And Urban Word, thanks for representing Urban Word here tonight. And a big round of applause for Siddiqui Condé and his ensemble.
Fatuma ta 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 ta.
So Bobby mentioned some events that are coming up, but right now our website isn't up, but go to BX Music and you'll see about all the stuff coming up.